more interested to see what type of aggression we might see. Definitely coming out of Tennessee. I wouldn't say that they are naturally an aggressive team. They definitely look to play a little bit more back, and I fully respect that, but I think my favorite parts of Overwatch is those Doomfist plays. Just being punched in the face is by far the funniest meme that I've ever seen in my life, and it seems that St. John's, while they may not be running out on that, perfect thing, they seem to just want to have that damage in Hanzo.
Hey, I mean, user intel, that rocket punch hitbox is absolutely massive. I've been so far as a meter and a half above a Doomfist and still get slammed into a wall. But if you want to talk about big hitboxes, then can we please talk about Hanzo's arrows here? We call it getting logged because that's what it feels like you're getting hit with. It's tree trunks. The double sniper here from the University of Tennessee running Zenith on the Widow to start with. Early scouting, but they're gonna stay on it. That's exciting.
I definitely like this idea, the Widowmaker forcing these line of sight plays. Unless you're shooting that character, there is no reason to be peeking, and I mean, if you stay, being the example of how it can work. Now going in for that charge, the Immortality able to keep that D.Va mech up for a little bit longer, but honestly, Bolton is still dangerously low. That first tick forced out, Zenith now in the perfect position to take out any squishy. They just want to move back. They want to wait to see if they can recontest as a full team, but all going into that last tick, they get pressured out. The charge goes in. It seems both Basher and Jolton are going to be traded in, but look at that. Parv is going to be able to use that window. Now it gets traded out with another window. Still, though, if they get off that point for even a second, we may see Tennessee cap it, but without a true tank, they are scared. The Widowmaker is not getting consistent picks, able to finally hit that Lucio, but still struggling in the end. It's up to that Hanzo to try to make the plays until the rest of the team come back. Man. It seems that it's actually just going to be the Baptiste, though not really having the response too in your favor. The Reinhardt comes in a little bit too late, not going to be able to save your team, though you did a good stall. You're not going to be stopping the cat.
Yeah. Ultimately, the stall will end up favoring a little bit University of Tennessee. Look at these. Look at this ultimate generation coming up on the Blizzard. That's going to be the ticket to winning an early fight here on Streets phase. Because as you can see here, actually, that shorter stretch of Streets past the bookstore and the cafe. That's what University of Tennessee is looking to control. That's what they're going to want to use. That's where they're going to want to use this Blizzard. And if Basher is able to find an Earth Shatter as well, that's just an added bonus.
Yep, they are looking. This is going to be a Shatter v Shatter fight, so I wonder who's going to be able to, put MTD into the chat. Look to Ego a little bit as that payload reaches the corner, but the Dragons are going to be that shining moment. Basher still lands it through the Blizzard now, wanting to make up for that small mistake combined with the bomb. It does more than enough. That's 3 ultimates, and I say it was well worth it as you're going to push that payload past the corners.
Absolutely, because you've brought Streets Face into a last team fight territory here. Basher's reconnecting to the team, their sacrifice not being in vain, and the stagger on Mr. Koala Man means that the recontest here from St. John's University, the retake game, either is just non-existent or considerably weaker. It would involve the expenditure of both support ultimates in the interest of winning a fight here, and they are just not going to be able to touch in time. They wouldn't have been able to get there.
You make a great point, but yet the window was just there, hoping that their opponents would take that aggressive push. I mean, they just freely get that space. Now the rest of St. John's, they have a couple ultimates inside their bank. Maybe they're looking to make a deposit. While Tennessee, having that sound barrier is a big ultimate. The space is very much what they're looking forward to. The wall managing to block at the high noon for a little bit, but combined with the window, that's a lot of damage going in, so they have to use that sound barrier to allow themselves to move forward. They really just want to start pushing into your face with that bomb. They wall off your teammate. The sound barrier able to go through cleanly, and combined with the bomb and Dragons, well, St. John's, they're going to be able to take this hold.
And that's a really good position to hold in as well. The cart didn't round that next corner. Unfortunately, not quite the stagger you would have wanted if you're St. John's University, but still a pretty good one. You knock off a couple of seconds off the time bank. This is playing out like a lot of Kings Row games currently as well. This is where you'll see a lot of teams stabilizing, and you're looking to continue to stay in this fight, stay in this defense with Jolt and Joe's Shatter. That's really all that you've got to work with here, as opposed to DeHubs coming up on another Blizzard. Really easy to shut that down if we can get an E from Mr. Koala Man.
Look at that, the Shatter goes through. Basher just was not prepared against that window. It's not going to get anything. They try. They want to use this Blizzard to make the difference, but the LOS, the line of sight, the rotations, the movement, they're able to break out now. Rich using their own window. Though it's not going to be getting too much room, you force your opponents back. They just want to be respecting you as much as possible. And I mean, that's not really going to be too much of a problem for St. John's, but I think Tennessee, they're going to be looking to take advantage of that, taking aggression on the high ground. Now looking to move forward. Fastball going down dangerously low. This bomb from center going to be very impactful as the bomb gets thrown out. We look to see Lucky Dog not going to be able to get too much, but the Diva is now stuck inside the backline. Poor Koala Man is going to be picked off. Basher dies when using the Shatter. That's not going to be looking good. Bob has to be the new main tank as they push forward. Look at that mention to cap 2 as the Sound Baiter gets committed. Though Tennessee are able to find these picks, they are not pushing that payload any further than they already have. The window hoping to just keep up that damage and be the criminal that it is. It's just not enough as Rich finds the kills and cleans up the fight before it got dangerous.
That's what we call a DPS teast, ladies and gentlemen. That was fantastic stuff from the flex support player here for St. John's. And really, pay attention to the amp matrices. They generate really quickly anyways, but here on Kings Row, it's very much a BAP game with the Immortality Field, that powerful ultimate. Mr. Koala Man coming up on a self-destruct soon here as well, starting off the fight with the Deadeye from Fiskal.
I mean, the high noon, it speaks for itself. Able to find two and force that timing. I mean, Lord, I don't know if you remember when we came in here, but it was like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, and now you know, St. John's University has whittled down that time bank to 2 minutes, and really that's not enough time. You want the self-destruct to regenerate here from Lucky Dog, but you'll have the sound barrier from Noodles to sustain in this fight. So if the going gets tough, just beat.
I mean, it definitely works, but the unfortunate fact is that the Blizzard, they're not going to be able to follow up on that Shatter, and that's gonna hurt. Even the bomb, Mr. Koala Man, it gets blocked off. You poor soul, you can look for the remake kill, but you're not really going to be finding it. This is where Tennessee are going to be looking to take advantage, moving in on to Rich, not able to truly clean out. That BAPT is truly impressive for the long run. However, look at that Tennessee. They managed to find the picks. There is going to be a slight stall, so the target focus is absolutely necessary. However, I think when there's a Bob on point and they're being as rude, you're not really going to want to try and test it. The minute and 15 seconds, Tennessee, they complete Kings Row.
And for University of Tennessee, that's a really good feeling, is knowing that you pushed all the way to the end, namely with more than a minute remaining. It ends up being really important. For St. John's University, it's you're not worse for wear here. You've again narrowed down that time bank that Tennessee had to work with, and what that means is that going into a second defense phase, St. John's University can accrue a better time bank than 1 minute 15 seconds. Again, going back to what I said earlier, 2 minutes not being enough. 1 minute 15 seconds for a first point take, it's not enough. If you lose that first fight, then you're down to the wire there, and reliant on, again, the Amp Matrix to swing or secure any of these fights. It is going to be a very similar, or the pretty much exact same look from University at Tennessee, and possibly from St. John's University as well, especially for real competitive Overwatch. You've got to play the rush mirror.
I definitely feel you are right in that idea. I mean, just talking about how fast Tennessee was moving and the amount of Blizzards that were saving these fights when Basher died. I mean, that's basically what is so good about this comp and why teams tend to run it. So I'm more looking to see, how does St. John's look to adapt around it? Mr. Koala Man, do you look to be eating? Do you look to be hungry? Lord, I mean, I'm praying to him right now.
Hey man, we can't all be Nathaniel from we can't all do that. So here the engagement is going to be really important from St. John's. They want to win this in one fight, and they do so. Love to see.
I definitely.
Statue.
I mean, they can't just walk out. Never mind, I guess finding the Baptiste really was that opening moment. This wall no longer having the room as the peel comes out with the immortality. They just have a lot. Wait, there's a ZC on the side of St. John's. That's not looking good.
Yeah, that might make things very winnable here in this fight for University of Tennessee. We'll have to have that DC resolve here. For now, we'll just end up paused